now that all the traffic went by. Okay, so I'm Lyndal Spirit. What I'm working on is the Dreamweaver project, Arizona and Georgia. The reason I chose those two areas is because they cover both sides of the coast, and from there it's a good spreading point. On top of the temperatures of both areas make it a little bit easier to start off with some of the parts of the project. So let's talk about what the Dreamweaver project is. The Dreamweaver project has been the end goal the whole time. So from the days of straight up television to VIP Room Magazine, Click TV, Dreaming Da Vinci, Erotica 7 Magazine, the end goal was to create an environment that people can just be, and while they're being and enjoying life, that they get to embrace some of the things that I embraced growing up on a farm, such as food straight out of the ground, learning how to grow things, learning how to live off the land, just stuff that they would just take in as far as like little maybe activities that they would do on the property, or things that they would see functioning on the property and kind of make a mental note of. So what are the properties? In Arizona, we're looking at 179 acres. And in Georgia, we're looking at 109 acres in Fulton County. It's about 30 minutes outside of downtown Atlanta. Let's start with the Arizona property. Both setups will be similar, but not the same. They both each will have something different about them. The Arizona property, starting off with the bio gardens, which a botanic garden. We would build a botanic garden with all the exotic plants as well as just natural plants such as what I'm surrounded with. The nursery would be where we grow the food, the greenhouse foods, all the stuff, and then we would have three separate types of areas. One is kosher, one is vegan, and then one is for people like me that eat meat and eat vegetables. I eat very balanced. I don't eat as much meat as most Americans, but I do eat meat. So I'm not vegan. A lot of people think I'm vegan. I'm not. I was for 4 years. I don't want to do it again. No, sorry. So I'm a flesh eater. But I really embrace the healthy benefits of naturally grown foods that are non-GMO, things like that. So we have a garden area, and we have the botanic gardens, so very lush gardens all throughout the landscape. The next thing is that I do a lot of media. All my friends do a lot of media or want to get into doing media. I meet a lot of students, a lot of people who would like to do the high-end stuff, just make movies, all kinds of stuff, and they don't have the resources. So the next part of the project was setting up a production multimedia facility. That means that there will be several domes, and we're using Pacifica domes. That's who I want to stick with. So we're going to start off with building these domes that we will house recording studios, and some of them, the one dome will be one big recording studio, and that's it. The other ones will be broken down to smaller studios, like smaller production studios, ideal studios, and then maybe a mid-sized studio. So there'll be about 4 recording studios. Same thing with photography. We'll set up 2 domes. Some want to have a lower level of photography and an upper level, so there'll be 2 in one dome, and then the other one will be broken down to much smaller studios for starting off photographers. We'll do the same thing with film, audio production. We'll have a music video studio, a movie studio, a TV studio, and they'll be set up in different sized domes. Then we'll have the sculptures, all the creative arts, the painting, things like that. On top of that, the landscape will be set up focused towards artists. So artists will be able to come, and just like this beautiful landscape right here, they'll be able to walk around the property, find areas where they can shoot scenes for the movie, shoot photography, or do paintings or whatever. So the thing is to create a system that, the beginner could use, but it's good enough for, say, Rod Rodriguez or Vin Diesel wanted to shoot a movie. That the facilities will be sophisticated enough to allow that type of movie production, a full-blown production, happen. It just won't cost as much as they would spend with somewhere else. We'll have the graphics department, all that. Okay, enough about the media. The next part is the part where all the public comes in. And this is really important because with the media people coming in, we also will set up open it up to the public. And in doing that, I wanted it to be someplace that you would take your vacation, someplace that you would want to spend a week, someplace when we do the summer like robotics program, that you can come out and for 2 weeks just live in luxury and at a fraction of what it would cost anywhere else. The way we're going to do that is build 2 resorts and 1 cafe. There will be 7 clubs and 7 stages, live performance stages on the property, running all the time. So whether you're a starting up band or a new act or a new comedian or anything like that, all the way up to major shows like Aretha Franklin or Stevie Wonder, we'll be able to handle those productions and be able to make them happen right there in the facility and have them, for the most part, open to the public. So that means that some of the shows will be free, some of them will be charged at the gate. So when you come onto the property, there's a gate entering the property, you would be charged then. This is a little wet. Let me scoot up a little bit so I can sit down. So one of the things we're going to do is set up these stages. The clubs, each one I have a different feel. There'll be a reggae club, a house club, electronic music club, a R&B, a hip hop club. So each club will have a different feel. Every stage has a different reason. And these stages and clubs I'm looking to be sponsored by major corporations such as Sony. So for instance, if MC Light came out to perform, she would perform on the Sony stage. What's up, T? So that's the focus behind that. Homeboy T is walking by. He's another grower. So he said, yeah.
I didn't want to get away. I thought you was popping some flicks.
Yeah, I am. It's a video for the Dreamweaver project.
Where you record?
Huh? Just me and behind me. Oh, cool. I can always use one of those. Uh-oh. Now I gotta find it though. Oh, there it is. Thanks, T. So what we want to do is make sure that these stages, the Sony stage, can handle all that stuff. I'll yell at you in a minute. Thank you, T. That the Sony stage is fully equipped, and on the back it'll have Sony. On the inside of the stage, which is still Pacifica domes, so we take a dome and we flip it on its side, so we'll be able to do projections, lasers, just all the top of the line, holograms, all that stuff. We'll have smaller stages such as poetry stages and open mic stages, still with the same level of sophistication, just very simple and down to earth. This is a place where we're going to leave the hatred of the world behind, leave this racism, leave all this stuff that we program ourselves with behind, and just for a moment enjoy life. Now, what makes this very interesting is Elon Musk, who owns Tesla, but also owns Solar City and SpaceX. He has a solar system that is just incredible. And that's the first solar system I'm looking at to power the facility, the whole facility, every stage, every building, every resort, everything is going to be powered off solar. So all of it will be done from solar power, ran off the earth, wind, things like that. These technologies will be passed on as we develop them, maybe make some things better. The complete automation system for like the studios or even the security system. We're sharing that. We're on an open source programming system. We're on an open source landscaping. We've open sourced pretty much the whole project so that people can take parts or the whole project and create it in their neighborhood. It's not designed to be something just for me or just for us. It's exclusive. It is going to be exclusive. There will never be anything like what I've designed, but I want people to start incorporating the designs and start seeing that they can actually live in high-rise buildings and stuff like that completely off natural power. And that's what this is designed to do. That's a subliminal education that I'm talking about. We have the solar systems that are powering everything, and when you see what you can do off that, then you're living it, and then you understand it when you get home that you can build a system very similar. So it's not hard to do. Another important thing is the technology side of it. We're trying to work with quite a few campuses as well as engineers and scientists around the world. One of them that we're partnering with is the Eden Project. We've been sending them emails and trying to work with them and share research with their scientists that we find beneficial. So we'll be working with a lot of technology, such as a robotics facility. We'll have a robotics facility where you can come and learn robotics. Your child can come and learn robotics. But we'll do stuff like computer programming, games programming. One of the things that I find a lot of people really want is basic computers, and especially with technology advancing the way it has been, people don't know how to use their cell phones anymore and don't know how to use their computers. So we'll be teaching that stuff and sharing it with you, as well as setting up summer camps. One of the cool things I think about the Dreamweaver project that really just touches my heart is we'll be looking in Arizona. Arizona has a really nice homeless program. They really work with the homeless, and the homeless works with them on some projects. And I thought that was so interesting, and I incorporated that into, we want to build some housing for the people that work on the property. And if you're homeless and you want to re-enter society, you can come, fill out the application. We're not going to look at your criminal background. We're not going to look at your drug background. We want to know about it, but that's not going to keep you from working with us. What we're going to do is get the right people, counselors, psychologists, drug rehabilitation, whatever it is that this person needs to be stable in their lifestyle. We're going to bring them into a program and build smaller domes, which are called entry domes, and they will live there and work on the facility. We'll feed them, clothe them, take care of them, make sure all their medical's up to par, and then we will go and do some build them up until they start actually working in other parts of the facility. We will also be doing that with felons. So if you have a criminal record, we don't believe that should end your life. I'm a firm believer that once you served your time for a crime, that you've done your time. And I know there's a lot of what they call repeat offenders, but maybe it's because they have no way to enter back into society at any level. You know, once you have a felony, McDonald's won't hire you. So, you know, they need opportunity, and we shut that down on every level. We shut down housing. They can't get housing, and they have to, for the most part, return back to the crimes. And that's not justifying them. I'm just saying, instead of trying to become the problem, become the solution, and let's offer the criminals a better way to live and change that criminal mindset. So we're going to have a criminals program, and it's going to be probably one that just sets a standard for, first of all, that people can change and people can do better. We all just do better ourselves and take the time. So that's a very serious program for me. The main thing that I think everybody will like is the fact that all this money that comes into the project, we're going to be dealing with sponsors, meaning that we want people like Sony, Lyft, all these different companies sponsoring stages, sponsoring different stuff, sponsoring different events continuously. Okay, the reason why is because the paid events, that money doesn't stay in our pockets. It does not stay in the Dreamweaver family, Arizona and Georgia. That money goes back out, and we find nonprofit organizations such as MC Light's Hip Hop Sisters, CC Peniston's Foundation, reputable foundations and nonprofits that are really doing work in the community and making changes. And we're going to start funding those nonprofits. So their funding will actually come from you visiting the property or staying or taking your vacation there. Then the other side of that is the educational side. So we will go out and not just give scholarships, but we will give scholarships based on, if you're like us, I know they do a point system now, but if you're an A student, we'll give you 100% scholarship for a year or whatever. If you're a B student, well, it drops down to 75% of the scholarship. We'll pay that, you got to pay the other 25. If you're a C student, we'll pay 50% of it, and you pay the other 50% of it. And if you're a D average student, we'll pay 25% of your scholarship, and you pay the rest. So our goal is to get those D students to become A students. So we'll have programs working with anybody under a B, trying to get them to become A students so they get the full scholarship. The other part of that is that this money will go back into communities directly from us, meaning that I've already traveled around a lot, and I know there's a lot more to see. So what I want to do is get with different people, such as Ice Cube, for instance. When I go to California, I want to get with Snoop, Ice Cube, and I want to go to the neighborhoods, and I want to say, hey, what can we do to fix this? And then we're going to fund it, and we're going to fix it, and then we're going to monitor it. That means that somebody's going to be coming in, checking on it, watching it, reporting back what happened, so that we are aware of how we are positively affecting those communities. So the money is not intended to stay within the Dreamweaver project. The only thing we're going to be paying is payroll and taxes, things like that. The money is intended to go back into the communities and to touch people, to help make more greenhouses. I know Cape Town Motivation just built a beautiful greenhouse out here with working with a group of people, and to teach them about better eating and things like that. You know, these funds will go back into projects like that to improve our lives, everybody's lives, not just mine or you know, a certain group of people. I want to touch everybody. You know, the more at risk you are, the more we will pitch in to help you become middle class, or you know, to get you out of a situation that is harmful to your lifestyle or to your living, period. If you want a lifestyle change and you're very serious about it, we'll be doing that. We'll be trying to work with talent agencies so that, you know, new people can come in and work with us, and we can get their portfolios done. I mean, there's just so much going on these two properties, okay? With the goal of helping the community, with the goal of educating the people and making a change that when you see it, when you live it. I mean, if you can imagine living with me for a week, and let's say it's during my busiest time, you know, when I just got a lot of projects going on, a lot of shows, a lot of concerts, a lot of production. I'm doing films over here, music over there, photography over there, getting the magazines out. And you see how I get to just really enjoy meeting people. You know, like when I go to another state, just get to meet people and talk with them and just enjoy, you know, that moment of meeting somebody new. And I mean, I talk to everybody, from the homeless people to the multi-millionaires. I talk to everybody. So I want that kind of feeling for the Dreamweaver. I don't want us to look at somebody and be like, ooh. I want us to be like, how can I help you? What do you need